Okay. I will take that win right there from the Philadelphia Phillies. They beat the Pittsburgh Pirates in the final game of the series. They take the series 2-1, and they win today by a score of 12-3. The offense really exploded in today's ball game. One thing I noticed from the offense wise today, I think everyone except for one person had a multi-hit game. I think that one person was Corey Dickerson. Corey Dickerson was the only person in his lineup to not have a multi-hit game, but Corey Dickerson still made his impacts with that home run in this ball game. And also players like Rhys Hoskins had a multi-hit game. Players like JT Realmuto, he was a double shy of the cycle, I think. Bryce Harper getting himself a multi-hit game. Just everyone chipping through the lineup, just doing their own thing. And also, just instead of relying on the long ball, even though we did hit a couple today, it just felt like we were using every part of the field just to provide some offense. Just hit balls to right field, center field, left field, just using the entire field. And John Kruk was making some pretty good points that the Phillies do not need to rely on the long ball. It's just if the offense hits like this the rest of the season, yeah, you're not going to get that every single game, but if it does this consistently, the Phillies can go maybe put on a stretch, but not going to get the hopes up because, Phillies, and they don't like putting stretches out because, I don't know, they're allergic to them. So, but Vince Velasquez was on the mound for us today after that brutal start against the Miami Marlins. He gave us a nice solid 5 innings out of today's ball game. We pinch hit for him early just to probably get some extra runs on the board, but Vince Velasquez does give us a nice solid 5 innings, 5 hits, 2 earned runs, 5 strikeouts. Nothing to be amazed about, but put us in a position to win the ball game. And the guys that came out of the bullpen, Davis, Garcia, they did pretty good themselves, even though Davis gave up that 1 home run when he first came to the ball game, but didn't have to overuse the bullpen today's game. Both Davis and Garcia pitched 2 innings each, which was nice to see, so we don't have to overuse the bullpen. It could be extra rested when we play the New York Mets this upcoming weekend. That's going to be a huge series coming up against the New York Mets. I think they're playing the Cubs right now, and they are losing currently 10-6. I think in the 7th inning. Currently 10-6, but could be different at this point. But really important series because even though the Cubs are winning, if we take advantage of this series against the Mets, it pushes them further away from us. And we just have to rely on the Cubs to lose. But the Phillies control their own path. They control their own destiny. They just really honestly have to focus on themselves going down the rest of the way. So, going back to this ball game, offense started early in the bottom of the 2nd inning. Rhys Hoskins leads off the bottom of the 2nd with a triple that almost went out. It hits the top of the wall, and it bounces away from the right fielder, and he manages to get a standing triple out of that. So, Rhys Hoskins, his swings today looked actually pretty decent. Instead of swinging down and up like he always does, he actually swung level with the plate. So, maybe being in that cleanup spot now that he's not in the leadoff spot from last night, so he was moved to cleanup spot today, so maybe that sparks something in him. Hopefully, he can wake up from this 2-hit game, something nice there. Then Cesar Hernandez comes up, he gets a single that scores Rhys Hoskins, makes it 1-0. Scott Kingery follows that up with a single to get 2 runners on for Adam Hazley. He doubles down the right field line to score Cesar Hernandez to make it a 2-0 Phillies lead. And the rest of the Phillies batters in the 2nd inning get outs, so it's 2-0 after 2. Go to the bottom of the 3rd inning, Bryce Harper gets a single, and then Rhys Hoskins gets one of the strangest doubles that you'll ever see. He hits it down the left field line, it bounces twice off the wall, and then lands on the railing and rolls on the top of the railing for like a couple seconds. It was like some kind of magic that happened there, some kind of voodoo to keep that ball on top of the railing and not go over into the flower bed for a ground rule double. It just rolled on top of there and fell back onto the field. And Bryce Harper did manage to score on that, so it's 3-0 Phillies at this point. So, right there, Rhys Hoskins in his first 2 at-bats gets 2 big hits. So, hopefully, like I said, he wakes up from this. Go top 4th inning for the Pirates. They get a runner on starting Marte. Then Josh Bell hits a moonshot to left field to make it a 3-2 game. And right now you're thinking, oh boy, Vince Velasquez, we gave him a lead and now he's coughing it up. But he does manage to shut down the rest of the inning after that Josh Bell home run. So still 3-2 after 4. Phillies don't get anything going in the 4th inning themselves. But we go to the bottom of the 5th inning where Corey Dickerson leads off. He hits a solo bomb to left center field. Makes it 4-2 Phillies. Then JT Realmuto follows him right up with a triple to right field. And that brings up Rhys Harper, who then singles to make it 5-2 Phillies. Rhys Hoskins comes up, he walks. Jean Segura comes up, he gets the bases loaded with a single. So you got 3 men on, no outs at this point, actually, for Cesar Hernandez. He gets a single to center field that scores 2 people to make it 7-2. Scott Kingery grounds into a force out and gets a runner on first and third. And then Adam Hazley comes up first pitch, gets an RBI ground out to make it 8-2. Logan Morrison walks, then Corey Dickerson gets an out. So nice run produced right there from the Phillies in the bottom of the 5th inning. Go to the top of the 6th. This is when Austin Davis comes in because Logan Morrison pinched hit for Vince Velasquez. First batter he faces, Starling Marte, hits an absolute moonshot to left field. I thought it was going to foul at first, but nope. Just went over the foul pole, and it landed into the concourse, actually. So pretty nice shot there from Starling Marte, if I do say so myself. But Austin Davis does settle down right after that. So it's 8-3 Phillies after the top of the 6th inning. JT Realmuto responds right in the bottom of the 6th inning, leads off with a bomb of his own to make it 9-3 Phillies. And that's JT Realmuto's 20th home run on the season. And interesting stat line after that home run, he's the first Phillies catcher to hit 20 home runs in the season since Mike Lieberthal. Remember that guy? Oof. That's a while since we had a catcher do that. And just JT Realmuto, there was also stat lines from Corey Simon showing just how pretty much similar comparison from his stats this season to his stats last season. So JT Realmuto, pretty consistent player the past 2 years. And even though we were ratting him out a little bit in the month of July, early August, to where he wasn't hitting with runners in scoring position, just not being that guy we expected offensively, he has really broke through since the mid-August to the end of August. So hopefully he keeps up this consistency. Bryce Harper then eventually walks, steals second base during the Rhys Hoskins at bat. He pops up, but Jean Segura does get a single, which manages to score Bryce Harper, make it 10-3. Then the Phillies knock on some other runs in the 7th inning. Adam Hazley, he scores on a pass ball during a Bryce Harper at bat. Then we go to the bottom of the 8th inning, get another extra run, 2 doubles that make it 12-3 Phillies. Then Edgar Garcia comes into the 9th inning, he closes it down. So, pretty nice ball game from the Philadelphia Phillies right there. A lot of stats going on because scored 12 runs. A lot of information. And once again, we are 6 games above 500. And we have another chance Friday against the Mets to actually go 7 games above 500 once again. And hopefully we don't fall flat on our faces. Just hopefully. So right now, we are currently 69-63. And with this win, we are a game and a half behind the Cubs. But if the score continues between them and the Mets, it'll go back to 2 games. So we lost that opportunity yesterday to gain some ground on the Cubs with that loss. But only really the thing that matters going down the stretch is just getting consistent series wins. You don't have to sweep the teams. Just get the series wins. That's the most thing that is important. If you consistently win the series, you're going to find yourself in the race. Well, even though they are in the race, you're going to find yourself in a better position than you would be if you would win series, lose a series, win series, lose a series. You'll find yourself in a better position. And just hopefully the pitching can just be a little more consistent, even though it was pretty decent over this week, even though Drew Smiley didn't have that good of a game yesterday. Jason Vargas has been pretty solid since being traded over here. Zach Eflin with that nice comeback start against Miami. Hope maybe he can keep that up. Aaron Nola, and Vince Velasquez, like I said many times again, it's a flip of the coin. You don't really know what you're going to get out of Vince Velasquez, but hopefully he can just remain at least pretty solid, because even though he had that terrible start against Miami, he's been pretty solid since, well, even before that start. I think even before that start, he had like a 3-point-something ERA in his last 5 starts before that Marlins game. So he's been pretty decent disregarding that game. So going to the stat lines for the lineup for the Phillies, Corey Dickerson, like I said, he was the only one to get 1 hit in this ball game, goes 1 for 5 with the solo shot. JT Realmuto goes 3 for 2, goes a double shy of the cycle. Bryce Harper goes 2 for 4 himself, scores 3 runs, gets an RBI of his own. Rhys Hoskins goes 2 for 4 with 2 runs scored, 1 RBI, 1 walk, 1 strikeout. So hopefully Rhys can build off this 2 for 4 night and just become more consistent, because we definitely need Rhys Hoskins going down the stretch. Jean Segura goes 2 for 4 himself. Cesar Hernandez goes 3 for 2 with 3 RBIs. Big RBI night for Cesar. 2 for 5 night for Scott Kingery. And 2 for 5 night and 2 RBIs for Adam Hazley. So Adam Hazley in this series against the Pittsburgh Pirates, he's been coming up with some pretty clutch hits. So hopefully he can find his consistency again, because before the series he was struggling a little bit. So maybe he's finding his spark again. And yeah, just pretty good overall game today. It's going to be a pretty important series going to this weekend against the New York Mets. We have the off day tomorrow. And I think the Mets do play the Cubs tomorrow as well. So they'll be coming to Philadelphia off a no days rest. So maybe we can get a little advantage there. I think the pitching matchups, I'm not quite sure, but I think for the Mets, it's Wheeler, Matz, and Stroman in that order. And I think for the Phillies, I think Nola is pitching on Friday or Saturday. I think Eflin's going to get a start, and then Jason Vargas, I think, is on Sunday. And Sunday is going to be an ESPN game, 7:05 start. And then we got to listen to Matt Vasgersian and Alex Rodriguez, that crew. Even though I do like that the Phillies are being represented on national television, but I just don't like the ESPN crew. The only guy I really like is Matt Vasgersian, but that's even stretching a little bit. So, pretty excited for the series upcoming. Glad we got this series win. And just hopefully we can remain consistent going down the stretch, because, just like I said, just need to consistently win series. Don't have to worry about sweeping a team. Just got to win the series, and you'll find yourself in a better position than you will be right now. So, what are you guys' thoughts on this game? What are you guys' thoughts on the offensive explosion from tonight? Thoughts on Vince Velasquez's start? Thoughts on the two relievers, Davis, Garcia coming out of the bullpen? And what do you think about Rhys Hoskins' multi-hit game? Hopefully, maybe breaking out of his slump. So, and also, what are your thoughts going into the Mets series? Because that's going to be a huge series. So, don't forget to leave a like. Don't forget to drop a comment. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And I'll see you in the next video.